Hey guys, it's me Dihanna and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I will be giving you guys advice on how to survive the first semester of your senior year. In 3 days, I will be a second semester senior and I will literally be a semester away from graduating high school, which is absolutely insane because you guys who have been here for the whole time have been here since I was in middle school. So that's just insane to even think about. But I am officially done with my first semester of senior year and I'm on the last 3 days of winter break. So I thought I'd give you guys a video and advice on how I survived the first semester of my senior year and things that you guys can do to survive yours once you guys get there. So yeah, before we get started, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and comment down below which videos you guys want me to do next. Also, make sure you guys follow all of my social medias. They'll be on the screen and they will be linked in the description below. And without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so my first piece of advice is to apply early action. I feel like applying early action is just better in every single aspect. For me personally, I applied early action kind of because I've known which colleges I've wanted to apply to since I was literally in 7th grade. So I was kind of already aware to where I wanted to go. So I applied early action. Also, my transcripts from freshman through junior year, my grades were pretty good, so I felt like I had a better chance. And I feel like a lot of people's grades kind of drop first semester of senior year, just because senioritis, you're worried about other things. So I feel like people's grades are better from freshman year through junior year, so it's better to apply early action because when you're applying early action, you don't have to submit your first semester of senior year transcripts unless your school requires a mid-year report, which you should definitely research, but majority of mine didn't, so I wasn't really worried about that. And I just feel like applying early action is just better in every aspect. You get your decision sooner, so you kind of are aware of where you want to go. And then also, I just feel like it's better because if you are to get waitlisted or deferred from any college, I feel like when you submit your application later on for the regular decision, you have a better chance of getting in than the people that are just now applying for a regular decision. Also, I want you guys to know the difference between early action and early decision. I was a little bit confused, but I had to do my research. Early action is simply you're just applying early. The deadline is usually November 1st. It kind of varies from schools, but yeah, every school was due around November 1st. So it allows you to get your decision early and stuff like that. Whereas early decision is when you apply early decision to that school, if you are to get in, you have to go there. You are, committed already. And I feel like that's good if you really, really want to go somewhere. If that's like your dream school, your parents can afford it, you can afford it. I feel like that's good. But me personally, I kind of wanted to see where else I could get in, and I had more research to do on each of the colleges, which is why I did early action for all of them. Yeah, that kind of lets you guys know the gist of things. But yeah, apply early action if you can because it's better, I promise you. My next piece of advice is to get a job. Me personally, I've had a job on YouTube since I was in 7th grade, but I also had like a regular kind of 9-to-5 job, part-time obviously because I'm still in school. But I have a job and they pay me pretty well for the hours that I work. And I feel like getting a job is very essential because if you think about it, you have to pay for a lot of things. If you're a guy, you have to pay for, the things, the cap, the gown, the suit or whatever you're going to wear under it. If you're a girl, you have to pay for graduation dress. You have to pay for your prom dress. You have to pay for your photo shoot. You have to pay for pictures for homecoming, for prom, shoes, jewelry. You have to pay for outfits to wear to certain senior events. You have to pay for all these fees. There's a lot of things going on senior year. And at this point, you're 17, 18 years old. It's time for you to start picking up on your own responsibilities. I feel like at this point, your parents shouldn't really be paying for every single thing. You know what I mean? If you have a car, you should be paying for your own gas. You should be paying for your insurance if you can. So having a job is very important. And I also feel like senior year after the first semester kind of is pretty easy. I mean, I haven't started second semester, obviously, but I have a feeling it'll be easier just because I'm no longer applying to colleges. I'm probably going to know where I want to go by the time that I get there. So get a job, please. It's going to help you. Also, when you get that job, save your money so that when you go to college, you're not a broke college student and you have money to pay for the things in college that you want to get. You have money to pay for your dorm stuff. You have money to pay for college fees. You have money to pay for if you want to eat with your friends, if you need an Uber somewhere. So get a job so you can have money for senior year, but also get a job and save money so that you have money once you get to college and you don't need to automatically get a job as soon as you get to college instead of being able to enjoy it because you have money saved over from the job that you got your senior year. My next piece of advice is also for the people that want to go to college, and that is to research the college that you actually want to go to. Okay, first, I'm going to kind of tell you guys how to research it. I feel like one of the most important things is to check if the school is in a state where you would want to live in. If you don't want to live in the South, don't apply to UT Austin, don't apply to Texas A&M. You know what I mean? If there's a state that you really want to live, research the colleges in that state and see if your grades and your statistics kind of will allow you to get into that college, so then you can go. When you're researching colleges, also research like the target area of stats that they have. Like if their GPA average of who they accept is like a 3.7 and you have a 3.9, you have a good chance, you know? So you're not really wasting your money on an application fee for a school that you know you're not going to get into. I'm sorry, but if you have a 0.5 GPA, I probably wouldn't apply to Harvard University because don't think you quite have a shot. So apply to colleges that you have researched. Make sure you know how much their tuition is. Can your parents afford it? Can you afford it? If you can't afford it, see if they have good scholarship programs. Apply to those scholarships so that if you do get in, you don't feel bad that you got in, but you can't go because you don't have enough money. So apply to the scholarships, do your FAFSA. Yeah, just research the colleges you want to go to. Make sure it's good for your major. And if it's not really targeted towards your major, like if you go to a tech school, but you want to be a lawyer, make sure there's programs in the tech college or university that you go to that can still help you reach your goal, because honestly, college is what you make it. You don't have to go to a school that's specifically targeted towards your major, but if they have classes and courses and professors and clubs and other things that can help you get to where you want to go, I don't see why you can't go there. You know what I mean? So make sure you're researching the colleges you want to go to, because you don't want to end up going to a college that you hate. And the reason that you hate it is because you simply didn't do any research on it. My next piece of advice is take the SAT and ACT as many times as you possibly can. My senior year, there was 2 times before early action decision was even due that I could have taken the SAT, and I did. Now a lot of colleges are test optional, which I love that. If your GPA is really, really good, I feel like if your SAT score is kind of lacking, you can go test optional and still get into all of the colleges you want to go to. But if your GPA is on the lower side, a thing that can really save you is your SAT and ACT score. I've seen it happen a lot where someone's GPA isn't as high as others, but because their SAT score was very, very high, they got into the college they wanted to go to regardless of what their GPA is. So take advantage of that. Yes, take advantage of the fact that a lot of colleges are test optional, but some of them aren't. And some of the colleges that are test optional still require you to submit your test scores to be considered for scholarships, which I think 2 or 3 of my schools did that. Like 2 or 3 of the schools that I wanted to go to, yes, they were test optional, but to receive a scholarship, you had to submit your SAT and ACT scores. So yes, your score can hurt you, but it can also help you in a lot of aspects. So take it as many times as you can. You can take the PSAT as many times as you can. Blue Book, which I'm sure we're all aware that the SAT is now digital. They have a lot of practice SATs, and you can take those over and over and over again. And there's Khan Academy. That's what I used. YouTube videos, and your your SAT scores will get tremendously higher. That's what happened to me. I literally watched a few YouTube videos, did Khan Academy, and did a lot of practice SATs, and my score went up. So if it happened to me, which I'm not a good test taker, it can definitely work for you. My next piece of advice is to make time for your friends and family. Me personally, I will like 100% be going to college out of state, but make sure you're spending time with your friends and family. I am going to be so far from my friends and family. Even my friends that are already in college, they're not in Washington, D.C., so I'm still going to be far from them. My parents are still going to be here in Texas. My brother goes to college in Texas. My sister still lives here. My parents still live here. And then my other extended family is in Kansas City. So I'm going to be very far from a lot of people. And I know there's a lot of people that also want to go out of state. And even if you don't go out of state, if you're not going to a college that's like 30 minutes away from your family, you're going to be away from your family. Even my brother, he goes to college in Texas, but his college isn't like 15 minutes away from us. So we still only see him like when he has like spring break, winter breaks, and sometimes maybe on the weekend, just because he still lives in Texas. But it's still a drive, and we don't see him as much as we used to. Like, we went from seeing him every day to seeing him like once every 2 months. You know what I mean? So make time for your friends and family. Senior year is going to go by very fast, trust me, because the first semester of my senior year felt like literally 3 weeks, and now I'm a semester away from graduating and then going to college and kind of being on my own. So make time for your friends and family. A lot of my friends now, they're going to stay in Texas. And if they're not going to college where I'm going to college. So I'm not really going to see them much after this. And when I do see them next year, it's going to be like when there's breaks. So you want to cherish the moments that you have, because like high school is only for 4 years. Senior year is only 4 years. So you really want to make the best of the time with your friends and family that you can. Okay, so my next piece of advice is to do not give up on your grades just yet. As much as you think, your senior grade year grades don't matter, they do. Especially if you're applying to honors colleges, or you have a school that accepts a mid-year report, or just anything. I mean, if you've tried so hard to get this GPA, if you tried so hard to graduate with honors or cum laude, magna cum laude, summa cum laude, whatever, why give up now? You only have a year left. Like, keep pushing. And if you really feel like, you don't have time to really focus on school because you have a job and you have other things, then my opinion would to be take more standard classes, or take summer classes your junior year so that you don't have to take those hard classes your senior year, which is what I did. And when I tell you, that has allowed so much stress out of my life to be gone. Right now, I'm only in 2 AP classes, but I took 3 AP classes over the summer. And now I don't have to do it senior year. But if you don't do that and you do have to take these classes your senior year, please, guys, do not give up on them, because a lot of scholarships require your grades from senior year. Honors colleges definitely look at your mid-year report, and they also want to see where you're at. And if your GPA is tremendously lower than what it was when you applied, they might revoke your scholarship. They might not really want to have you be considered for scholarships. So please do not give up on your grades just yet. My next piece of advice is to do all of the senior events. I know a lot of people in high school don't really like the people that they go to high school with. Luckily, I moved like halfway through my high school career to another school. And the school that I go to now, I love like everyone, really. Like, I don't have beef with anyone. I get along with a lot of people. I have a very close friend group. I have very close friends. And I'm just really happy where I'm at. But I know that's not the case for everybody. And I can relate, because the first high school that I went to sucked. Like, it sucked. I'm really not friends with anyone that went there except my 2 best friends that I'm still friends with today. But when I tell you my experience there was rough, might do a story time on that later. And if any of y'all from my old school are watching and you're not my 2 friends, Alani and Alexis, I don't like you. Just kidding. There's a few people that I still am cordial with, obviously. And there's still people that I interact with. But if I graduated from that school, I would not want to do any senior events. But you can't let people dictate how much fun you have or how much you enjoy yourself. There's always a person or 2 that you might get along with, or even someone who's an underclassman that you can bring along to the senior events. Like me personally, I know we had senior sunrise at the very beginning of the year, and there was a lot of juniors there because a lot of seniors had friends that were juniors, and there was a lot of people that graduated the year before that went with their senior friends. And I feel like if you can find someone to do those events with, please do it, because you're going to regret it. You're graduating for yourself. You did it. They didn't do it. Your ops didn't do it for you. The people that you like didn't graduate for you. You're graduating for yourself, and you only get 4 years of high school. And as much as you may dislike it, because trust me, I disliked my first 2 years of high school so much, but you can always turn it around. And also, just don't let people like have that much power over you. Don't let people like ruin your experience, because you only get it for 4 years. Don't let them take that 4 years away from you. Like, the next thing is to join clubs or become in a higher position in the clubs you're already in. Me personally, I have been in like orchestra for all 4 years of high school, but this year specifically, I joined like the crew, which is where you kind of volunteer for all of the orchestra related events that go on at the school. And that looks really well on my college application. But besides that, I have more time on my hands to be in a position to help out more. So, I mean, why not? Like, I'd rather be helping people and volunteering at events than laying in my bed because I have nothing better to do. And then also, I'm part of my yearbook staff. Last year, I was just a member, and this year I am a leader. So I lead my section, and I look over their pages, I edit them, I take pictures for them and all that stuff. So I feel like, first of all, it's your first semester of senior year, so you still have time to fill out your resume. You still have time to make yourself look really good on your college applications, because you know you start senior year in like August, and then your applications for early action are due in like November. So you have a few months to kind of get everything together, wrap everything up, be the leader of the clubs that you can be, join more clubs if you have the time to. And I feel like that's kind of like one of my biggest pieces of advice, because that's like the last few things you can do to kind of set yourself apart in your college applications. So join clubs, become the leader of clubs, help out more, be more active in school, and yeah. Last and final piece of advice is really simply just live in the moment. Me personally, I've like kind of been guilty of not doing this in my high school, and I do regret it. Like, I've had 4 years of high school, and this is kind of the first year that I've actually enjoyed. Junior year was very stressful. I was in like 5 AP classes, and I had a job that I was working like at least 20 hours a week, and I was just very stressed out. Sophomore year, I had to move to a different school, and the first semester of my sophomore year sucked. And then freshman year, it was just like most of my friends from middle school, we stopped being friends, because that's kind of how high school works. You know, once you grow up, people grow apart and stuff like that. So I had to adjust to that. And just adjusting to high school was just very hard in general. But this year, I'm like actually living in the moment. I'm actually enjoying myself. I'm living in the moment. I have better connections with my friends. And yeah. And now I regret not living in the moment before and not finding like positive and negative situations. And I feel like that's something that you can always do. So just live in the moment. Senior year is going to go by so fast, and you will never, unless you fail, ever be in high school again. And this is like the time that you're going to be the most stress-free in your life. Like, live in the moment, soak up everything, and just do everything. Be involved in everything. Join clubs, be in organizations, volunteer, like, just do everything that you can, because you're only gonna get, you only have it for 4 years, and you're only a senior for 9 months. So live in the moment. And yeah, that is all my advice. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and comment down below which videos you guys want me to do next. I am now a second semester senior, and at the end of my senior year, I'm going to do just a full video of like how to survive your senior year, because obviously I still have a semester left. We're going to see how that goes. Y'all are going to know what college I'm going to end up committing to later on this year. I'm going to be doing college vlogs this year, which is absolutely insane. I will be doing college content, and I started my channel when I was in middle school, which is absolutely absurd. But I'm just very excited to see what the future holds. I place all of my trust in God's hands, and what's for me will be for me. And I'm just super excited to see how everything goes. I'm going to keep you guys updated. Later on, I'm also going to do a video of kind of how I got into the colleges I got into. I'm going to share like some of my essays and some of my short answer questions, just so you guys can see how I got in, why I got in, things of that nature. But I will leave that for another video. And yeah, so if you want to make sure to stay tuned for that video, make sure you guys like and subscribe, comment down below, follow my social medias for more updates. They'll be on the screen and they'll be linked in the description below. And yeah, that's it for today's video. Bye guys.